What up, bros? Sound is synced. How we doing? How we doing, bros? Another week, another episode of the Everybody and Their Mom podcast. The podcast that everybody and their mom is fucking listening to. How are we doing, boys? Sound is synced. We are here. Another week. Episode number 58. Here we go. Hope you guys are doing well. Sorry for the late send late my late links. I sent those kind of late this week. I was I got a haircut earlier. I was one, ate some dinner, took a bit of like a little nap right now before helping with the yard and stuff. My dog too. So yeah, sorry for the late stuff this time. I would definitely try to make it a little earlier next time to make it a bit more welcoming, so that way it's not all rushed. Everyone come in, have fun at the same time. That's how we doing. Let's see, episode 58. Last time we were here, I was here with, I think Saha was here and Steven, and we were going over, I think, the movies for this year, as well as the predictions from the NFL wildcard weekend, which we just had. That was my main course for last weekend. That was my Saturday and Sunday, a little bit of Monday, but Monday I had to go to the airport for my parents. Let me see, how was the rest of my week then? Pretty fine. I think did I say I watched The Long Walk last time? I'm not sure if I did. Highly recommend that one though. I think it's probably on my top five for last year, for movies that came out last year. I wasn't able to watch it till I think like a week or two ago, so didn't know if I was able to get that across to y'all. Check out The Long Walk. Definitely recommend that one. So I watched that. I watched the NFL wild card, which we'll get into in a moment. I don't think it really went anywhere. I was gonna go to my buddy's house to watch the Niner game, but I had to stay, take care of my dog. It's a whole thing. She's like kind of paralyzed. I have to like watch someone else to watch her. Yeah, it's sad, but hey, it's we make do with what we can. Um, Fucking airplanes. um, and yeah, I mean, I don't think it really went anywhere besides like the airport. We'll go get like food, obviously. Uh, I think there was like some weirdo. I was like driving next to me the other day. He was just like, I don't know, it was just like a group of dudes, like four dudes in like an old Mercedes, which that's what you love to see. I don't know. I think they were probably like driving around smoking or something. But I don't know. One of them kept making this weird ass like weird noise. It was weird. Like I think he was trying to like copy like how like an old brake would sound, like but I don't know, adding like a twist to it. And I was just like, "Hey, weirdo, shut up!" Driving past this nigga. It was just funny because I don't know what they're trying to get my attention or something. But I was like, "Bro, leave me the fuck alone." Um, that happened on Monday. Today, got my haircut. Yesterday, what did I do yesterday? Besides like homework, it's one of the homework like studying. I gotta study. Oh yeah, got rid of the kind of taking down Christmas lights too. The Christmas tree away. Is that time of year? Gotta put the lights away before the city starts bitching. I remember last year we had them on like, I want to say, till like the 21st of January, and then we started getting letters from the city like, "Hey, we love that you're into the holiday, but take down your lights, or else we're gonna charge you like $50 or whatever the fuck it was." It was something stupid, um, for like cleanliness bullshit, like how they make you like keep your lawn a certain height here, otherwise you get like fined and stuff. Just like little things. trash buckets have to be behind like a gate. They can't be like visible. There's like little things like that. Um, no cars on the lawn. Uh, it's just like aesthetic shit. You know what I mean? You just gotta cover up. Like no tagging. If there's any tagging, you gotta cover that shit up immediately. Um, yeah. That was kind of yesterday. Today I got my haircut here. Monday. Fuck it. Let's jump into the recap. Let's jump into our first topic, which is the recap of the wild card. Here we go. Um, a lot of good games this weekend. I don't know if you guys had the chance to watch this Saturday, and this is a good game, man. I was expecting, I think like most people, the Rams to win. I think they were like 10-point favorites. I did not see that. I thought they were going to win by like 7. And it was interesting because they came down to the basically like a fourth quarter shootout where the Rams were hey, what's up, Rudy? Where the Rams were down in the fourth quarter with like minutes to go. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch the game, but it was definitely a classic. Hey, the cover, Saha, the cover. Yeah, the Panthers ended up covering. That was one of the free plays of the weekend. So what is the long-term ramifications of this game? I think Bryce Young and this coaching staff that believes in him have bought themselves another year. They won the division, which is the first time the Panthers have won it since like Cam Newton back. Like, I want to say like 8 years ago. So hey, I mean it's yeah, like around 2018, no, like 2017. I think it was the last time the Panthers won the division. Um, so yeah, I mean the Panthers are definitely heading in the right direction. Got himself an extension, but I know he got himself a fifth-year option. So he definitely got himself yeah, he Bryce got his price exactly. Um, let's take a look at the stats in the game. That takes a little better look at it. Let's start with the Panthers. So yeah, Bryce Young, touchdown and a pick, 40 attempts, 2 sacks, and not much help from the run game either. Chuba wasn't getting much done. Rico as well, but it's right here. Coker, McMillan, Leggett, Tremble, their tight end, but it was really like those guys right there with a mixture of Dowdle as well. But Coker, man, this guy was kind of the main reason why they were in the game. Then we get to the Rams. Stafford, 3 touchdowns. Some decent production in the run game right here out of Kyron and Blake, almost 100 yards. And then you get to the Puka, over 100. Devontae, 72. And then just right here with the mix of Kyron, Colby, Higby, a nice mix of the running backs and tight ends. Along with their 2 sacks that they had. I think Stafford had a pick as well. Yep, he did. Stafford had a pick. I believe a pick six, if I'm not mistaken. Interception. Yeah. I think Mike Jackson had a touchdown in this game, if I'm not mistaken. But ETN with those big returns. Yeah, overall, really, really good game. Yeah, Coker. I think Coker was really like one of the reasons why this game was so close. Um, what else is a big ramification? Um, well, with the Rams, uh, they're definitely one of the top teams in the league now. We'll jump into the divisional round in a moment. Uh, but I think it's shown that they kind of jump out, and there's been a few games now this season where they jump out with a big lead, but they kind of choke. They kind of let teams kind of hang around, come back in the game, and I think it has to do with their inability to run the ball effectively. I think if they don't get Kyron or Blake going, and they kind of rely on Stafford to just start flinging it, he makes a couple mistakes. He might make like a pick here, a fumble here, and the way the defense is playing, they might be getting into some shootouts. But we'll see. We'll stay tuned. Stay tuned. Um, All right, in the other game on Saturday. Oh, sorry, Saha. Packers Bears. Sorry about that, bro. I'm sorry. Um, look away, cheese fans, cheeseheads. Look away. I mean, what can I say? Um, the Packers were up 21-3 at one point, and we pretty much all thought it was game. Heading into the fourth quarter, I believe it was 21-6 heading into the fourth. And I think at one point it was 27-6 or 9. I want to say it was 6 or 13. But it was definitely like a multiple score game entering into the fourth quarter. And yeah, like yeah, me and my buddies, we were pretty much ready for the half to be over. The first half was over. Like I said, it was 21-3 at halftime. And we just started rolling joints. We're like, yeah, it's pretty much game right here. I had Interstellar on, in the background playing. I was like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be one of those games. We're just gonna have to, I'll put on the Switch, Nintendo Switch, start playing. But nah, the Packers got I don't know what it is with their play calling. I think it's Lafleur. He gets a little like kind of playing not to lose at one point. They started relying more on the run game in the second half that wasn't really existent. I don't know what it is at Jacobs. He's been playing hurt past few games, and he wasn't really having much of a production. Let's take a look at these stats. Yeah, see that Jacobs 19 for 55. I don't know, man. I would have given like Brooks or Wilson another crack at the rock, especially in the second half. Jacobs just wasn't, 2.9 a carry. I don't know about that. And I mean, Jordan Love, what can you say? 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards, one to each different receiver: Dobbs, Golden, Reed, Watson. You got the tight ends involved, defense, got a pick. I think they got a fumble as well. Like, what? Oh my God. 2 picks they got. Jeez. But yeah, I mean, what can you say about these Bears? They kept fighting. They kept the game within reach. And that's another thing, man. Like, the Bears kind of got themselves into that situation by going for it on fourth down. I don't know what it is with these coaches, man. They think they're playing Madden or something. They think they're like going. Like, I don't know why you would ever go for it on fourth down if you're anywhere near midfield. Like, just punt, dude. Especially in the playoffs. I don't know why you would just not punt. I don't know why you wouldn't just take the field goal early. Hey, let's go, Siles. Golden Knights. We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to hockey in a bit. I forgot about that. Damn, Knights at Kings. This would be a big game. Uh, but what was I with the Bears? Yeah, the Bears just kept it close. Uh, I think what really brought it open was that DeAndre Swift touchdown, followed by, yeah, when DJ Moore scored. Pretty much when it was like 21-16, I think around it was. That's when I was like, yeah, I think the Bears are gonna win this one. They had all momentum on their side. We were all just like glued to the screen at one point. We were just like, yeah, this is it. They had the Interstellar music going in the background. It was crazy. It was like a perfect sync to it, just for for that last minute drive. Caleb got the ball late. Oh man, I forgot about McManus too. Shit. Yeah, like the Packers really just choked this one away. McManus, I think, missed 3 kicks. I know he missed a PAT and a field goal. I saw those. The wide right. That was the one thing they needed to keep him in the game, and that was it. Um, yeah, pretty much like it was just a tale of two halves. It was just the first half the Packers couldn't be stopped, and the second half they just didn't really go for it. I don't know what it was. They kind of started playing a little a little conservative. They kind of played not to lose, and the Packers and the Bears came roaring through. Um, them being at home, especially, yeah, that crowd was dead, silent in the first half, but then, dude, Loveland, yeah, 130 yards, DJ Moore, 60, yeah, man, this was the game right here. Like the Swift got 54 in a tub, that was big late, but overall, here's the game. Like right here, these two players. Odunze really did anything. Burden got some catches though. Oh boy. Um, but I don't know. Like I guess the long term ramifications of this one. Well, the Packers still made the playoffs, even though they made some big moves this offseason, going for Parsons. They still have Jordan Love, but I just think the problem that they had was late injuries to Jacobs because they really need the run game to get going because their offense works the best working off play action to get to the to get the ball to the tight ends in mismatches as well as open space to the receivers going deep. But yeah, overall, I think the Packers are going to be in a pretty solid place. Um, the division's tough, obviously, because they have the Lions to deal with. The Vikings will probably be better next year if they got a quarterback. But yeah, I mean, the Packers still be, overall good contenders for the most part. I see. And the Bears, I mean, shit, they've been doing this all year. They've been down, and it's that Dennis Allen defense, man. They don't really get stops, but for some reason, this season they've been getting turnovers in crucial situations. They've been playing. They're basically making plays when they need to. They've gotten this far. But I don't know. I just think with the way that they start so slow, I just think that's a big weakness, especially going into the playoffs now. But enough of that one. Enough of that one. Let's go into the Sunday games. Here we go. Oh, bro, this is a classic right here. Another classic. Bills Jags. Sheesh. Okay, well, we'll get to that in a second too. So the Rams Bears. I was picking the Jags in this one just because they were at home and they were leading, but Allen got the last laugh with that last touchdown. Um, I think what really broke the game open was yeah, Lawrence. Yeah, two picks. Lawrence. He got that one late. He threw a pick early, which pretty much set up a easy Bills touchdown. And the thing with the Bills is once they get going, um, oh my god, it's crazy. Brandon Cooks, man, yeah. I remember. I think Cooks got this deep route to go, setting up the run game in the red zone. And once they were there, the Jazz couldn't stop them. They couldn't stop Josh Allen running it, especially off the tush push. I think he got like a almost got like a 10 yard tush push. It was crazy for a touchdown. Um, the Bills defense played well. Like I mentioned, they got two picks and sack on Lawrence, and that was pretty much the difference in the game. Allen didn't make the mistakes, and Trevor did, even though Trevor was at home. So yeah, it was a good game. Jags, played well. They were winning late, but Bills got the last touchdown in. Jags were going in for it with like a minute left to tie it, but got tipped through a pick, and Bills win, baby. What can you say? I think both the teams were really good. It was a true pick 'em. Um, and that's how I got my Sunday started. Good game, good game. Uh, 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 um, and then another classic right here, dude. I got both of these wrong. I thought the Jags were gonna win, and I thought the Eagles were gonna win. So I was just surprised that both these teams won. Well, here are the 49ers with the amount of injuries they've had all year, but it didn't matter. I mean, you had Purdy, two tubs, McCaffrey, with the receiving touchdown, two receiving touchdowns actually. Demarcus Robinson going off this game. Holy shit. And just guys picking up the slack, with Kittle getting hurt. They had Tanji's, Jennings, Juszczyk making plays, McCaffrey, like I mentioned, DeMarcus, Jennings throwing for a touchdown. Like that was crazy, man, crazy. When Jennings threw that touchdown to Purdy, or to McCaffrey, I mean, and then I swear I thought the Eagles were gonna win, especially when Kittle got hurt. But nah, the Eagles, same thing, man. They're a team of two halves. First half they come out, strong, running the ball well, throwing it well. Second half is just no adjustments. AJ Brown dropping like three balls, even though he was complaining all year about not getting the balls, about getting catches. It was just Saquon up the middle every time, and just no creativity on the offense. Just very basic, deep ball to AJ Brown, deep ball to I mean, out route or into Smith, a quick pass to Goddard. It's just very, very like basic shit, and it's really, really easy to adjust to, especially for defenses in the playoffs. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Niners came through late with a big touchdown drive from Purdy to McCaffrey, and that did it. I mean, I thought Jalen was going to be able to come down to at least bring the Eagles within a lead to then hold to kind of like a back and forth in the fourth quarter. But shit, let's take a look at these stats. I mean, Hurts 160 yards, one touchdown and a sack, and then look at Saquon. He had over 100 yards rushing. That's good. But then we go to oh my gosh, dude, Devontae Smith 70. Then nothing from there. Look, Goddard 30, AJ Brown 30. He had just as many drops as he did catches. Saquon, yeah, I mean, in the defense, I don't think they played that well. Well, they had two picks and a forced fumble. That was big, but they didn't do anything with those forced with those picks. They didn't cash those into points. Jennings, true wide receiver one, yeah, and Jennings could he ripped that rock. So yeah, I mean, even with the amount of injuries that the Niners have dealt with this season, they have been a tenacious front. They've been they have perseverance, and yeah, as long as Purdy and McCaffrey are playing well, they can beat anybody. It looks like Sirianni yelling at AJ Brown. Yeah, that was not a good look. I think the Eagles, as we know like this group is over. I think Jalen isn't as good as everybody thought he was. I think Saquon is good, but they need to be more creative with how they get him the ball. I think he's a good running back, but not as good as he was, especially with the amount of mileage that he now has in his body. I think Devontae is going to stay. Goddard will stay. I think they might trade AJ Brown or let him walk. Um, I don't know who. Yeah, they fired their OC. That's good. Yeah, their OC I heard was like friends with Sirianni, and that's why he got the job. They might hire McDaniel's, the Dolphins, old head coach, if he doesn't get a head coaching gig, which he can. Um, but yeah, I mean the long term ramifications here. I mean, not to mention with them firing their OC, letting AJ Brown walk. Oof, I think they got to revamp that O line a little bit and their defense too. I was seeing a lot of Eagles fans complaining that their secondary wasn't playing up to par as they were. I think I saw a lot of people complaining about Blankenship and Zach Bond is what I saw. Even though they were both, for the most part, you know, well, instrumental players last season in their Super Bowl run, especially Zach Bond. Let's see. Yeah, I mean they got good players on defense: Jalen Phillips, Cooper DeJean, Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, Zach Bond, like I mentioned, Jordan Davis, Dean. Like, yeah, they got talent, man. I think the Eagles could definitely, run it back. They're gonna need probably replace AJ Brown and probably, just get the offense a little bit easier for Jalen, I would say. And I think it's a lot more bootleg and getting him out more in space. is what they need, as well as just setting up like easy hot routes to quick passes to the tight end, running back, screens to the receivers. Something get the offense moving, more creativity. The Niners, on the other hand, ooh, they're pretty much playing with house money right now. I don't even think they should even be in this situation. They are. I mean, I think I saw like they like over 13 starters injured, which is insane. That's what the Lions were dealing with last season, and they got as far as was it the AFC Championship game last year, the NFC Championship game last year, I believe. Yeah, so yeah, the Niners next man up in Seattle. Divisional game. It's anybody's business there. um. So yeah, on to the next one. Oh, here we go. Okay. Well, the last two were kind of similar. From what started as a great wild card weekend, 4 games, 4 out of 6 of them were, I would say, wild card classics. The other two, on the other hand, were wild card mismatches. And what do I mean by that? The Chargers had no O line on Sunday night in the cold in New England. Yeah, so Herbert, if you guys had a chance to watch the game, he pretty much had like 2 seconds to get rid of the ball before there was a lineman in the backfield. He played hurt. He 150 yards passing. He looked like he was their leading rusher. They got nothing out of the run game. Like Lad, Godson, like 3 catch, 2 catch. There was no time for this guy. It's on the road. Yeah, they needed Farron to play O line. They needed help. Whereas the Patriots, they just kept it close. May threw a pick, 260 yards passing, but once he got that touchdown late to Hunter Henry, that was it, man. And then I think the Chargers went for it in the red zone, didn't get it. I think twice. One time they fumbled, I think, and the other time they just didn't get it on downs. And that was the game right there, man. They needed those points, and yeah, it was one of those situations where they were shorthanded. They're pretty much playing with like the worst line in the league due to injuries, and yeah, it eventually caught up to them. Sadly, I felt really bad because I wanted my buddy's team to win, the Chargers, but maybe next year when they're not as injured to the O line, and the team's still pretty good. They got Hampton as running back. They got a plethora of receivers. Defense still stout. So I think next year with hopefully not as many injuries, maybe add a little bit to the defense a little bit, some more depth to the O line, and they'll be all right. And then the Texans Steelers. Oh boy. Um, what was essentially a low scoring game throughout. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was 7-6 going into the fourth, and then the Texans just who I think it was a strip six on Rodgers. They forced a fumble and got the six back, and I think Rodgers' last throw was a pick as well. Oh boy, they already let Tomlin walk away. Mike Tomlin. Because the Steelers were in that weird situation where they're good enough to make the playoffs, but not good enough to make the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. Ever since Big Ben retired, and on top of that, they've been having like no answer at quarterback. It's just been kind of like we'll see what we can do for a year with this guy. I think Rodgers, that might have been his last game unless some team gives him a try, which they might. Like maybe the Colts, for some reason. Whereas the Texans, I mean, damn, dude, they have the best defense in the league, in my opinion. Uh, Stroud is not playing that well. I think that's like the weakest part of their team is their offense, their inability to run the ball or even get, you know, get a rhythm going with the receivers. I think is their biggest problem. Like Stroud 250, okay, one in a pick. Marks played well. Marks is playing, running the rock really well that game. That really helped. Christian Kirk went off. I mean Charlie Kirk. I'm just kidding. I don't know if you guys saw that meme with Stephen A. That was hilarious. Higgins, did all right. Collins got hurt, but I think he might be out this weekend too. That's a big loss. The tight ends came up: Hutchinson, Schultz, Jalen. Oh man, but yeah, it was the defense really was the name of the game in this one. Uh, and then long-term ramifications. I mean, the Steelers are going to get their new coach, their fourth one in their history. New quarterback, probably new direction. See what they do with Metcalf. See what they do on defense. The defense is what was the biggest problem I think they had. On top of the offense not being able to get much of a rhythm or score points. That's oof. That's man. Whereas the Texans, I mean, now I think back-to-back divisional years. So hey, good, great on the coaching staff. I think CJ Stroud has won his third playoff game, which is it's fantastic. Um, and now they're heading on to New England, where they can definitely win. Which is let's jump right into with that into the divisional matchups this week, because these are all tough, all four of them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments as to who you think is going to win, because these are really tough pick'ems. Starting with the Bills Broncos in Denver at 1:30. Denver being at home, well, the Bills are used to the cold. The Bills have played them earlier this year and beat them. There's that issue where the Bills offense is better, but the Broncos defense is better, like compared to the other side. So the Broncos offense has not been getting much going lately with Bo Nix. They kind of been running like really like I don't know what's happened to Sean Payton. I think he's lost his touch on offense. There's a lot of screens, a lot of tight end passes, a lot of run game with it's just I just don't think their offense is that good. Their defense is great though, which gives them good field position, sets up easy go ahead field goals with Will Lutz. So I mean, if they could find a rhythm here, I definitely think they could get the job done. But I'm probably leaning Bills right now. If I had to pick, I'm probably leaning Buffalo, just because I feel like they've already been there more experienced, better quarterback. But yeah, I mean, defense does win championships, so who knows? Like I said, either team could win any of these. Let me know what you guys think, though. And then on to Saturday night at 5 in Seattle, Niners at Seahawks. Oh boy, these teams are division rivals. I think they split 1-1 earlier this year, where the Niners won their home game, Seattle won their home game, and Seattle's defense played very well in that one. They pretty much shut down Purdy. Um, but I think this one, I'm gonna be leaning with the 49ers. The reason being I think they're more battle tested. I think they know this team very well. I think compared with the two offenses, I like the Niners a little bit more with their ability to run the ball with McCaffrey. Granted, JSN is probably going to be the best player on the field, especially with Seattle. But when it comes down to it, I think we're due for Sam Darnold to have one of his like dud type of games. I don't think Darnold is that great. I think he works best off the running game. Um, and don't get me wrong. I mean, they have Charbonnet, they have Walker. So if those guys can get going, they can get play action off the tight end, that they can get the ball at JSN deep. They're definitely, they're more likely gonna win that. But I think this one with the way the Niners played on Sunday, the way the defense is, able to hold Philly, especially in the second half, make those halftime adjustments. The way they were able to execute, even with all these injuries, I think I'm leaning with the Niners. I think so, especially with the quarterback play. I think that's going to be the biggest indicator in this game. Whichever quarterback makes the least amount of mistakes, I think is going to win this one. So, leaning Niners, leaning Niners. Um, and now Texans at Patriots. Oh boy. Well, the weather I don't think is going to be that big of an issue. Mainly because the Texans went into cold Pittsburgh Monday night, windy. I think it was kind of like sleet, not snow, but it was definitely cold. Um, but what they say, defense and a running game travels, and lately they've been able to run the ball well with Woody Marks and Nick Chubb. Lately, I think they have the best defense. I think they won like nine in a row. The Texans. They're just one of those teams where like this reminds me of. They kind of remind me of like the Legion of Boom in a way, where they can kind of just line up to two deep safeties, play man, and then just beat you one on one. They're not really disguising what they're doing. They just got better players than you. They got good tackling. Their execution is fantastic. I mean, the the Steelers had like one good drive on Monday, and that was like getting the ball to Metcalf. But after that, he didn't do shit. So this one, I don't know. Drake May has definitely been playing like an MVP caliber. The way he's able to spread the ball around to the tight ends, Hunter Henry, Butte, Diggs. I mean, yeah, he's been playing really really well. They're able to run the ball with Henderson, Stevenson. I mean, they're definitely going to be a tough out, but I think, especially with the way the Texans defense has been playing, and if Stroud can just get a rhythm on offense, and it's going to be tougher now without Collins. Collins is going to be out, is what I'm seeing. But if you can get the ball to Charlie Kirk, I mean Christian Kirk, I'm just to Kirk, spread the ball to the tight ends. I definitely think the Texans can get this one if they, if it's, especially if it's a game of like low scoring field positioning where they're like playing by punting a lot. I think the Texans could get this one done. I think this is going to be one of those games similar to the Seahawks where it's whatever quarterback makes a mistake, throwing a pick or a fumble, whoever makes that mistake first is probably going to lose. I think so. But right now I'm leaning Texans. Leaning Texans. Oh boy. And then our last game on Sunday in Chicago in the cold is going to be I think I see a wind chill of 0 to 5 degrees, which is going to bring it down to that temperature. But I'm still going to lean the Rams, baby. Stafford is used to playing in Chicago. So is Devontae. They're used to playing in Chicago. They're used to playing in the cold. Um, Stafford last year and the Rams in the cold in Philly. They lost by a field goal in the cold. Uh, Last week they played in a windy Carolina. It wasn't like freezing, but it was windy as fuck. Um, but why do I have Rams? I think the way they're able to execute on offense is much better than the Bears. In the Bears, they start too slow, and I think a team against the Rams who can score the ball like almost at will. The way they can spread the ball to Puka, Devontae, the tight ends. They have two running backs they can get it going, especially if they can get it off play action. Whereas the Bears, I mean, they come almost like the cardiac kids where it's almost like too little too late. It's like, bro, like where was all this early? If they can get the running game going early with Swift, I think that'll be big. If they can get the ball to DJ Moore and Loveland, I think that'll be big. But yeah, I just think the Bears play from behind a lot, like Sal's saying. Yeah. um what the fuck, is someone calling me? Hmm. Oh, it's weird. But yeah, I just think the Bears play too far from behind, and ultimately got the Rams in this one. I think it'll be a closer game because of the weather, and I ultimately have Rams winning probably by like a field goal. I think it's gonna be one of those type of games. But yeah, I just think Caleb compared to Stafford, I think Stafford's a little bit better offense to offense. I think the Rams a little bit better. And when the defenses, that's where I think both teams are weak, where both teams kind of, they let teams. Well, the Rams they kind of choke a little bit. They let teams come back, whereas the Bears they just let teams go off early. So I mean, the Bears D I think is gonna have to get at least a pick or a fumble off Stafford to win this one. At least one turnover. Um, but yeah, I still got the Rams though. Devontae Adams, Bears killer. Alrighty. And with that, I'm gonna lean into the college playoff. The other two games that we missed. I picked them both correctly. I picked Miami and Ole Miss. And Indiana. Sorry. Uh, the Indiana game was much better. Sorry, the Ole Miss game was much better. Miami played them in a shootout. That was a great game. I think Ole Miss was up early, but because of I think it was like a late touchdown in the first half. Miami was up like 17-13 at halftime, and from there it was just back and forth shootout, man. Um, Carson Beck ended up leading him late, getting a late go ahead rushing touchdown. Ole Miss just kind of they just sold on defense. Everybody just played back on the ball, stopping the pass, and Beck just ran it in. Um, I think the difference in the game was, yeah, this right here. Fletcher, number 4, his ability to control the clock with running the ball, that was killer for Miami. Whereas, hey, yeah, the Ole Miss, they were able to kind of run the ball early, but they just had it off one big play. Everything after that was just on the passing game, which I think was the biggest indicator of why Miami won this game. They were able to pass it, right here against Marion, but Fletcher able to control the clock on the ground, controlling the clock. But in the other side, oh man, I thought it was gonna be like a touchdown game, maybe go to overtime, but nah. It's crazy what Indiana has built in just a few years. They're known primarily as a basketball school, but their new coach Signetti, he reminds me of like Nick Saban, man, with the amount of intensity, the amount of preparation, the amount of execution that his team performs at. It's insane. This team actually plays defense similar to like an NFL team, where like they actually make tackles in space. That they don't let like boneheaded, offensive, they don't let guys just run wide open past them. They don't, they don't get juked in space. They don't, you know, they set the edge. They play their gap. They play fundamental sound football. Like they're gonna just not be out of position, which is, for the team like this, that's insane, man. Like Indiana used to be trash, dude. They used to win like maybe like 4 games at most a year, and now they're fucking number one team blowing it, dude. I don't. They haven't had a close game. I feel. It was the Big Ten championship was like the last close game against my Ohio State. Like, but since then they just been blowing everybody out. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have them in the final. The final's gonna be on Monday, this Monday. National championship game against Miami in Miami. Holy shit, Miami's at home for that one? Wow. I did not know that. Miami in Miami. They're pretty much a home game. Is even though it's at Dolphin Stadium. Wow. That's insane. Hey, if Indiana loses, it's kind of like storybook. It's almost like a Cinderella season for Miami because they started off the season like highly ranked. They were like number 6 in the nation. Then they took a couple losses and they snuck in and at as the 10 seed out of a 12-team playoff, and they're in the fucking championship game. That's crazy, man. That's kind of why I don't know. People talk shit about the playoff, but I like it. But it's way better, I think, than what we had before, which was just like a computer and some coaches decided who was the number one team, who was number one and two, and then those two played. And it's like, what? Like that sucks. Like, having a tournament where, because football is a type of game where the best team, they don't always win. It's like a every, any given Sunday type of thing where it's the team that executes the best at that given situation is who's going to win the game. And sometimes it's not the better team on paper. A lot of times it is, but especially in football and in a high tension playoff atmosphere, in the Rose Bowl and the Orange Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, these are like, fucking people flying in all over the country, $1,000 on tickets. It's fucking crazy, dude. It gets insane, and it gets, rockets in those places. So I know, like, do I think Indiana was probably like gonna make it? Yeah. But shit, I mean, I think everybody had either Ohio State or Georgia playing them in the final. So I mean, it's insane what Indiana's done. I'll probably be rooting for Indiana because they've never won a title, whereas Miami has. And even granted, it was like 25 years ago, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna be rooting for the Hoosiers. The Hoosiers. Well, alrighty there, boys. I'm probably gonna end it early there. I was gonna talk a bit about the new Fantastic Four trailer, but they didn't really show much outside of it's the Fantastic Four meeting up with the Wakandans. So, so far we've seen that. We've seen the X-Men, and we've seen Thor, and was it Cap? Oh, that's right. Sorry about that. Let me get into that real quick. Let's see. Kings, Knights. Let's see. Hockey just started. Thank you for reminding me, Styles. Right about that. If they play tonight in about an hour, what's the spread? Let me see. I think the Kings are, what the fuck? Let me see. I think they're favorited. Yeah. The Knights are slight favorites. There we go. These are probably better. They're a slight favorite. The spread is 1.5. If anything, I think it'll be like a one-score game. I think it'll probably be like 5-4. No, kind of like that. The over/under is 5.5. Oh shit! Take the over. I think they score more than 6 goals. Actually, no. I think it's gonna be like maybe like a 3-2 type of game. Either 3-2 or like 4-2. Because I don't watch hockey enough. I definitely kind of getting into it, especially because Styles is saying, here, let me see the standings. Yeah, I think it just started though, bro. Holy shit, didn't it? What the fuck? Okay. Okay, so there's 2 divisions. Let me see. We have the Lightning and the Red Wings. Lightning, Red Wings leading the division, followed by Hurricanes and Islanders. All right, that's the East. How about the West? We're out West. Yeah, dude, look, check it out. Golden Knights, number 1. Number 1. Let's go. The Kings are number 5. Yeah, dude, Golden Knights for sure should win. Yeah, bet on them. Yeah, the Kings did kind of fall off. They had a good year, like I want to say, like not long ago. I went like around 2018, but yeah, I would. I'm more on the Kraken than the Kings, in my opinion. I just like their logo, honestly. Same with the Sharks. I like the Sharks. The Sharks logo is badass. Like, best logo goes to the Kraken. Oh hell yeah, dude. Like, look at this, bro. Like, this is badass. It's a fucking. It's like, you like the Kings, Jay, or not really? Not really. Like, don't get me wrong. They're like the local LA team, but yeah, I'm more on the Kraken and the Sharks. I like their logo a lot. Like, look at this. This is cool. Like, I remember working at Lids and seeing people with this logo. It was so Farron Anaheim for life. I don't know why either. Like, don't get me wrong. I like this logo. I like the Mighty Ducks. Like the old one. This one. Yeah, this one. Like, that one's pretty. A Golden Knights fan. I like the colors. The golden, like the Saints. Jack Eichel, number, is it Eichel or Eichel? Number 9. For the Knights. This guy looks like that one actor. Ah, fuck. He was like Doug's team owned by Disney. Yeah. I think they're like partners with Ducks and Angels. I think that's probably why Farron is a fan, because he probably like saw that connection to Disney, because Disney really pushed like those teams. They really pushed, the Ducks and the Angels, especially with making movies behind them. And I think that's might be why Farron became a fan. You know what I mean? Especially because I don't know, Farron's never been into like the main team, except the Lakers. But he's not into the Dodgers. He's not into the Rams. He's always into the other. You know what I mean? The other team. Which I don't mind. I do not mind. But thank you, Siles. I will definitely start getting into it. I might check out the game tonight. Yeah, I might watch it tonight because there's no Lakers. Lakers won, so give it a try. Ooh, but all right, boys. I'm probably gonna end it there. I'm go get some quick little errands done. I think my dad was calling me. That's fine. Well, I might get another stream in this week. If not, definitely gonna see the games Saturday and Sunday. And I will see you guys next time on the next episode of the Everybody and Their Mom podcast, the podcast that everybody and their mom is fucking listening to. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.